Lady and gentlemen, we have a very special firearm with us here today. It's the HK USP 45 Tactical, and let me tell you, this thing is just phenomenal. The first thing I want to talk about is how this thing looks. Just, oh my goodness. It's just such a good looking firearm, like the slides and the serrations on the slide and just the overall profile of this handgun, just like, bro. Look at this thing and tell me this is not a really good looking firearm. This thing is just insane. And like, I'm a big proponent of how firearms look. And this drew me to it because A, it looks so good. It's such a good looking firearm. I mean, just, oh man, with the TLR4 on there, whoa, it's such a good looking firearm. And I picked this up mainly because it's been in games like Counter-Strike is a huge one. Escape from Tarkov, Metal Gear Solid. Obviously, that's a Mark 23, but they do have the USP 9, I believe, in Metal Gear Solid 2. And those games are just phenomenal. And this handgun is an iteration of those. And just, oh man, I just freaking absolutely love this thing. A couple of other video games, Splinter Cell, specifically, and Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Man, I mean, I was drawn to this because of just how it looks. And it's been in games that I play that I really enjoy. And the biggest thing is I didn't realize how reliable this thing is, because I mainly bought it because A, it's been in those games and just like, it just looks so good. It's just such a good looking handgun. And then I did some research for this video, and let me tell you, the reliability on this thing is insane, ridiculous. Like, I did a lot of research and holy shit, I'm impressed. And I have some stuff to share with you guys that is actually insane. So when the torture testing comes to this gun that I found online, caveat, the torture test that I'm referring to was the USP 40. It was not the USP 45 Tactical, but it's the same platform. It's just, they're all very over-engineered, and you're about to see, like, some of this testing information that I have is actually insane. It's from a 1993 edition of the Sentinel magazine. So they did a USP 40 torture test, and holy smokes, let me tell you, they reported that they had one USP shoot 10,000 rounds. Okay, 10,000 rounds, no malfunctions, no stovepipes, no issues at all. It just ate 10,000 rounds, no problems at all. Then allegedly they had another USP go 20,000 rounds. And on that one, they didn't say if it had any malfunctions or whatever, but they said it did not have any critical failure of any of the parts. So it shot 20,000 rounds, no like critical malfunctions / the gun just ate it, which is insane. And then another testing that they did on it was they froze it to negative 44 degrees Fahrenheit, fired it while it was frozen, then heated it up to 153 degrees Fahrenheit quickly, shot it again, then they froze it to 44 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 44 degrees Fahrenheit again, shot it, heated it to 153, shot it again, and just rinse and repeat several times, and they reported that it had no adverse effects on the USP at all. So this thing is just insane. And then another thing too is the barrel is a cold hammer forged, high-grade chromium steel barrel. So it's literally like a steel barrel that they use in cannons, okay? And it was actually insane. And they had, they lodged a bullet, okay? They induced, like a squib, lodged a bullet into the barrel, loaded a live round into the firearm, and then fired it. And literally, the live round went off, pushed the squib out of the barrel with the live round, and they said there was a very small, like barely noticeable bulge in the barrel, barely. And it's like, the thing that blows my mind is it's like, if you did that, I would argue in any other handgun, that would be a critical failure and the handgun would literally explode. Like, most people know that if you have a squib in the barrel and then you shoot another round behind it, it would literally explode the gun. But apparently to their torture testing, they did that and it literally shot the bullet out of the barrel. Then after they did that, they shot the group at 25 yards and had a 2.5-inch group. So it was still working, still functioning after they did that. I just think that's insane. So when you look at HK, their whole motto is no compromise, right? And I mean, after reading that about some torture testing on the USP series pistols, just insane. Like the fact that they did all that testing, like I like, honestly, I would have absolutely no problem trusting this thing to my life. And like, I would argue if you pull the trigger, this thing's gonna go bang every single time. And then talking about this one specifically, I bought this secondhand used, and I don't even know how many rounds was on this before I purchased it. And I would argue I've probably easily put 1,000 to 1,500 rounds to this gun. I wasn't really counting because I didn't buy it brand new, and I don't know how many rounds were on it before. But I mean, just knowing like the testing and like the rigorous everything that goes into this platform is just insane. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about this thing at all. Like, this thing's definitely gonna last longer than me. The finish on the USP is extremely durable. It's called the Hostile Environment finish. It's a blued nitride and it's extremely durable. It's literally developed to withstand super harsh weather conditions. Like in the testing when they're freezing it and heating it up, like the finish is just, I would argue it is, I'm not going to say it's the best finish like on the market kind of thing, but it is definitely an extremely durable finish. And the other thing is too, is like this thing just, it's held up so well. It was made in 2018. So this thing is 7 years old pretty much at this point. And it's like, I'll show some close-ups and stuff of the slide, but it just looks phenomenal. And then the internal parts are coated with a Dow Corning anti-corrosion chemical to reduce friction and wear. And that coating also helps withstand the elements as well. And it was actually developed for the German Navy's combat swimmers. So they would have these USPs and they do like swimming missions and stuff like in the ocean, like in salt water. And like even with that, like they'd have these handguns. Obviously they'd still, like after the missions and stuff, they'd service them or whatever. And they did that testing for, I believe, up to 2 years, and they didn't see any corrosion or any rusting anywhere on the handgun itself. And honestly, I think that is extremely impressive. And that just goes to show that, once again, the HK slogan, right? No compromise. Like, this thing is definitely over-engineered, and it's just chef's kiss, phenomenal. So on the USP 45 Tactical, a couple things that make this model stand out is it has a threaded barrel right here, so you can shoot it suppressed, and it's also optimized to be shot suppressed as well. I've shot a lot of rounds through this suppressed, literally had no malfunctions, and that just goes back to the whole like reliability. This thing, like it's been a minute since I've cleaned it because I kind of want to see how much I can shoot it before it starts to like foul up and I start having malfunctions. And I think on this like cleaning cycle, if you will, like from the last time I cleaned it, I think I've got about like 600 rounds, like 650. Yeah, that's probably generous. It's probably more, but I would argue like 650 rounds, haven't cleaned it, and I've been shooting a lot of that suppressed. Not all of it, but a lot of it has been suppressed. That introduces more carbon and stuff and just fouls the gun faster. But I mean, it just runs and runs. And then right here on the barrel, it has a little O-ring right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's got a little O-ring right there. So when the slide locks up on the barrel, it actually makes it a lot tighter. So there's not really any wiggle in the between the barrel and the slide. So that gives you a more accurate shot at distance. Let me know down in the comments below. I think that'd be pretty interesting, to be honest, to see if I could recreate that testing that they did and literally lodge a bullet in the barrel and then shoot the bullet out with a live round. So let me know down in the comments below if you want to see that on the channel. That is definitely something I would do. Just because I think it'd be interesting to see if I could also back up their claims, because I did some research online and I couldn't really see. I saw some people talking about it, but I didn't see any footage of people doing that. So I think that'd be pretty interesting to see, to be honest, to see if those claims are accurate, or rather, because that was on the USP 40, see if the 45 Tactical can do the same thing. So granted, it is 45 versus 40, so it's a little hotter round, a little bigger. So, you know, we might have a catastrophic failure, but I still think it'd be very interesting to see it, because I mean, this barrel, it's the same barrel as USP 40, just different caliber, right? So I think it'd be very interesting to see what would happen. So on the HK USP 45 Tactical, a couple things that make the 45 Tactical pistol stand out from the other USP series of pistols is, first thing up here on the front, we have a threaded barrel. It's left-hand metric 16x1, and it's left-handed thread, so it's lefty tighty, righty loosey. Kind of funny, not gonna lie. Another reason why it's left-hand thread is because with most direct thread suppressors, when you thread them on, when you shoot, the way that the bullet comes out of the barrel with the rifling, it'll typically unthread the suppressor as you shoot. And obviously, the last thing you want to do is, you know, have your suppressor like thread halfway off or whatever, and then you shoot it and you just destroy your suppressor, because that would not be fun, because then you go through the waiting period again and just huge headache. So yeah, it's left-hand thread, so when you shoot it, the suppressor actually gets tighter on there, which is pretty sweet, to be honest, because now you're not worried about the suppressor walking off. And then you have a front blacked out sight, and you have a rear blacked out sight. The rear sight is adjustable, and it's got, honestly, I kind of like the sight picture that you get on there. It's pretty sweet. And then also the length between the rear sight and the front sight, it's pretty solid. I'd say it's about, you know, I'd say it's probably about 5 inches, give or take. It's pretty average, I'd argue. You know, about five inches, pretty obvious. Pretty average. But yeah, let's talk about this TLR4 that I have on there. This is Streamlight TLR4. This thing is actually awesome. It's not daylight bright by any means, but definitely when the sun goes down, definitely gets the job done. It's also a laser light combo on there, so that light, honestly, pretty sweet. It also, the mounting system on the HK, it doesn't have like a pick rail or anything. It just has a universal rail slot, I believe is what they call it. So it just has like a hook on this one side right here that just hooks into that slot and that area, and then on the other side, this actually has the rail adapter, so it fits into that groove perfectly on the ejection port side of the pistol. And then right here, this is pretty sweet. So we have some date codes on here. So the BI is 18. So that means that it was manufactured in 2018 in Germany. And this little DE is like a nationality mark, stands for the Deutschland, right, which is Germany. And then also here on the backside, it also says that it was manufactured by Heckler & Koch in Germany. So this is a foreign, and this thing is honestly just, I just love how this thing looks. And then another thing that you can tell is you have the Krukenhorn, I believe, is what is like the German name for it, but it's just a buckhorn. And that also indicates that it's manufactured in Germany. And then the CIP, that is the Common International Firearms Testing. It's some organizational body in Europe that pretty much proofs these handguns. And the N stands for like nitro rounds. So it's like it's stating that the barrel is rated for nitro rounds, which is just like smokeless powder kind of thing. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. And then it has a fiber aramid, like lower here as well. And the stippling is, it's pretty aggressive, but it's honestly not terrible. And then the trigger guard is oversized, so you can fit a glove in there. You know, if you're wearing like winter gloves or whatever, it's pretty easy to get your finger in there, because, you know, I mean, that's a pretty big trigger well. It takes 12 round magazines, and it has the little HK paddle right here. So you just push that little paddle down, just like that. Magazine comes out. You got 12 plus 1. This is chambered in 45 auto. The magazine's also made in Germany. That's a mag well right there. Slide that in, fits pretty good. And then let's see, one other thing that's actually really cool with this firearm. Let me just break this down really quick, because I got to take this thread protector off. I got to take her right here. So let me just push the slide lock out. So one thing that's pretty sweet with this handgun is that it has this patented recoil reduction spring. So apparently this little spring right here, see how there's a spring on the outside and there's another spring on the inside? Apparently that helps reduce the recoil quite a bit, which is honestly like pretty sweet. And going back to that torture testing, they were saying that it reduced the recoil actually quite a bit, but then they also caveated that with like saying felt recoil is like very subjective kind of thing. But apparently it works pretty well, and it works enough to the point where they felt like they wanted to patent it. So here you go. That is the little recoil reduction spring right here. And honestly, pretty easy to put together, pretty easy to take apart. So then you just take this, and then you just line the slide lock up with that little ring right there. And then you just take this, slide that in, and it should just go right back in. Just like that. Make sure it locks back. Boom. One other thing I want to talk about on this is that it is a double single action trigger. So right now it's in single action mode. Boom, drop it, and then double action as well. So as you pull the trigger, the hammer cocks. You can also manually decock the hammer with the safety, and then it has a thumb safety as well, but it is not ambidextrous on my version of the USB 45. It's just on the right side. Honestly, I like it that way because if you're left-handed, that's wrong-handed. So, but yeah, this thing's pretty sweet. Let's talk about the trigger a little bit. The trigger on this thing is actually phenomenal. It's so good. It's a match grade trigger. It also has an adjustable over travel stop. So you can get a little Allen key in there and kind of screw that back. And you can pretty much choose where you want the trigger to stop. So you can take slack out of the trigger so you can shoot it faster. Essentially is what that does. But let me tell you guys, this trigger, the Scar trigger, god awful, terrible, okay? But the trigger on this thing, actually insane. So in double action mode, I believe it is a 11 to 12 pound pole, give or take. So if you carry this with the hammer down and the safety on, you take the safety off. But then if you want to get a round out, it is pretty heavy. It pulled out all the way through, but it's nice and crisp all the way through the trigger brake right there. So that's like the double action is very heavy, which is nice because it's like, it really makes you think before you squeeze that trigger. Like it's not just going to go off for no reason. But the one thing that I personally really like is the single action is phenomenal. So you have a little bit of take up there. Very easy to see the take up, and then you get on that wall. Boom, right there. And then, let me drop the magazine, sorry. And then we'll take this up like that. You got a little bit of take up. Boom, resets right there. Get back on the wall. Boom, break. I mean, this trigger, very, very nice. Like this trigger is a match grade trigger from HK. And trigger is extremely nice on this. Let's get into the shooting portion because this is gonna be a lot of fun. Also, the extractor also doubles as a loaded chamber indicator. It doesn't do that good of a job, but there's a little bit of red. I don't know if you can see that because of the shadow. And also it's probably dirty, but there's a little bit of red on the top of that extractor. It pops up a lot more when it's not all fouled because I haven't cleaned this for a while because I'm just trying to see how many rounds I can get till it starts having malfunctions. And honestly, so far, doing very good. So let's rip some rounds. Wait a minute. We can't have a USP video without a can, because without a can, it's not a USP. No way! First malfunction, damn, dude. 10,000 rounds, no malfunctions. Hold on, keep rolling. No way! Wow. Failure to feed. But I mean, look how dirty that round is. That round is filthy. So damn, I put about I would argue probably about 8, yeah, probably like 800-900 rounds through it. And a lot, honestly, ever since I bought the suppressor, it's all been suppressed. So yeah, well, and to be fair, a lot of the testing and stuff with this is wasn't suppressed. So, and the thing when you shoot suppressed is it introduces a lot of carbon back into the system, so it fouls even faster. So, but I mean, honestly, like 800-900 rounds not a failure to feed. So there's a lot of carbon being reintroduced back into it, but let's continue the show. One test that I do want to do is I want to see if we can tell a difference in muzzle velocity between suppressed and not suppressed, because technically when you shoot suppressed it slows down the round, not by a lot, but I kind of want to see if we can tell a difference between the impact on target suppressed versus not suppressed. So we're going to do that right now. So I'm going to put 1 round not suppressed on that soda can on the left. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm gonna put 1 round on target. Okay, so we just got the 1 on that soda can. That thing honestly exploded. You know, 45, you know, 2 world wars. So we'll take this and then, so just so everyone, you know, totally clear. No mag. And we're gonna get the suppressor on there. Thread that puppy on. Let's see here. Here we go. Lefty loosey. Righty tighty. Okay, now let's throw 1 round on that soda can on the left, see if there's any difference. First difference right off the bat is that was like way quieter. Holy shit, way quieter. But yeah, that's insane. It looked like the first one blew up quite a bit more. Let's go down here and look at the cans. So let's see here. I don't even know where that first, okay, so here's the first can. Let me crawl on these rocks here. So it looks like that's the first can right there. Insane. That just totally blew it apart. Right there. Or you know what? I think this is actually the suppressed can. This has got to be the suppressed can. Yeah, this is the suppressed can right here. And let's see, it looks like the other one's right here. Oh yeah. Look at that. I mean, comparing these 2 cans. Whoa. Let's see. So we got that one. And we got this one. I think honestly, pretty similar. I feel like that one's probably more of just shot placement. So I would argue shooting suppress is definitely still very effective. So the HK USP 45. I mean, to be honest, whew, I would definitely trust my life to this. The one thing though is with that failure to feed. I haven't cleaned this. This is like a range toy at the moment. So I've been severely neglecting it because I also wanted to see how much I could shoot it. And it looks like we got about 850 rounds, almost 1,000 rounds, I'd argue, because I bought 1,000 rounds of 45 when I bought this, and I've shot through damn near all of it. And I bought a second batch, and I'm just kind of scraping the top of that. So, I mean, honestly, this is probably has 1,000 rounds through it easily. Haven't cleaned it. But yeah, I mean, other than that, the reliability, the way this thing looks, oh, guys, I can't get enough of this thing. This thing's phenomenal. I'm gonna go home, clean it up, and even after that malfunction, it was still running just fine. So just a little hiccup there, but you know, I would argue we're shooting it suppressed. It gets it very dirty very quickly. Also, the ammo we were shooting is not exactly that clean. It's it's pretty filthy. But yeah, I mean, overall thoughts on this thing, can't go wrong. I mean, it's an HK USP. 45 tactical. This thing is just phenomenal. Thanks guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments if I messed something up, or if you guys have some more information to share with this platform. And honestly, this thing just fire. The snake rating on this, I would give this, honestly, I would give it a 10, but that one failure to feed is gonna knock it down to like 9.5. I mean, I would argue this is almost damn near perfect. I just love this thing personally. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. And remember, guys, when life starts getting hard, pick up some heavy ass weights. Thanks. No! The one that got away. Damn it. Oh, fuck. I forgot. I can't remember what it was. Damn it, dude. I am Iron Man. Let's go, baby. Power on.
Alright, looks Gucci right there.
Okay, fire.
Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah, I got lost a little bit.
Yeah.